I first met the guys in Def Leppard someplace in Munich in some very small, grubby bar, and we said a few words, and that was kind of it. And I didn't really know who they were at that point. The next thing that happened to me was I was producing this young band of English boys, thinking that they wanted to sound like me, but in fact all they wanted to do was sound like Def Leppard. And I became pretty pissed off with this in the end. And they said, well, you should go and see them and you realize what we mean, right? So I happened to be in Los Angeles like we are now, and they were on at the LA Forum, and I went and sat down there and watched them. No, I went and sat down, and then they came on stage. And I had been a lot of times to the Forum in Los Angeles. I mean, I don't know if you know, we used to do this a long time ago as Queen. And I've seen a lot of people play there, but I had never ever seen anything like this, because from the moment they hit the stage to the moment they went off after the last encore, nobody sat down. Everybody was on their feet, everyone was like this, and including me, and I was just totally devastated. So ladies and gentlemen, I think I've said enough. I just want to introduce you to the boys. Ladies and gentlemen, Ian Campbell, Bill Collins, Rick Allen, Rick Savage, Joe Williams.
One of the nicest things for me is having somebody like Brian May say such nice things about us.
Did you have any idea he was going to do that? Or
well, we knew he was going to come down and introduce us, but you know, he's just a genuinely nice guy. Again, I mean, we're talking about Brian May. I mean, he's the guy that introduced us for this honour, and I really have to say that it's when I first heard Queen, it actually changed my life. It made me want to be in a rock band. And a rock band that I'd always kind of listened to the more heavier bands like either Zeppelin or Black Sabbath and that type of, or certain parts of Zeppelin at least. But when I heard Queen, it was the, as Vivian said, the pop thing. It had enough rock element, rock guitars, and this melodic content that came together, and I'd never heard anything like that before. And literally from it was their third album, the Sheer Heart Attack album, that when I was about 13, suddenly just heard and went, wow, I've never heard anything like this. And from then on, it's you come and you get different influences along the way, but that was the definite starting point, and you never really lose that sort of blueprint that you start out with.
Just the whole English, it was very different over there. You know, a lot of people still think we live in England. We kind of moved out. Always loved American music, you know, whether it was Motown, Beach Boys, whatever, you know, and it's where rock music come from. It's part of an American culture. That's how we become fans of it, and that's also one of the reasons people go, you guys sound like an American, you sing with American accents, and it's because we learned from American bands. So just everything really, and English radio was very limited. So you had like 1 or 2 stations and pirate stations when we were kids. It's a lot different now, but it's a lot of rave and kind of different types of music going over there. But just growing up, yeah, you heard some of the best American stuff, and that's what really got us hooked. And then later on, it was bands who also got hooked, who were, you know, bands like Zeppelin and the Stones and the Beatles and all that stuff, and we got swept up with that as well.
We like each other. Music's always been the common goal, and there's the magic ingredient that bands like us have that other bands don't, and that's just, it's the chemistry between the 5 members of the band. You can't buy it, you can't plan on it, you can't even educate yourself to have it. You either do or you don't. Some people are born with the ability to pick up a pencil and draw, perfect. And some people pick one up and they can't, you know, without having lessons or anything. And other people can have all the lessons they want and they're still rubbish. You know, it's just, you're lucky, and that's what it is. There's a hell of a lot of fate involved and a lot of good fortune, but it's the chemistry is the important ingredient, and that's the one rogue element, if you like, because you can't plan on it. It's just there, and you discover as you go along that it is there, and it has been there, and hopefully it'll still be there in the future.